Monitored by them. To that extent, I think that power could go down.
And we are matured enough to do that.
Yes, certainly.
Maturity म्हणता मरे. स्वित्झर्लंडात असले स्वित्झर्लंड in their mohalla sabas, so called mohalla sabas, they passed that there will not be any masjid in this area. They passed there will not be murkha. This is done already. You will agree for it. फाला तू सांगतले की ना या आतून हे देवळ काम करतात.
One thing, no
one has asked for this.
No, when Arvind Kejriwal was asked this question, he clearly said that no Mohalla Sabha can take a decision which violates your fundamental rights.
That's common.
This decision goes against the fundamental rights. This is not. These are the highlights. Highlight the highlights.
This is the main
definitely, but that doesn't give you the power.
You cannot take a decision which is harmful to the other.
No, definitely you cannot go against the constitution.
Absolutely.
By default.
स्वित्झर्लंडाचा उल्लेख झालो तातून केजरीवालच्या पुस्तकातून ताणे उदाहरण दिला की 50,000 लोक जेन्ना साइन करून दिता तो कायदो करप सक्तीचे 1 लाख जर लोक साइन करून दिता जाल्यार थंय ताणी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बदलू येता आणि केजरीवाल त्या पुस्तकान स्वता म्हणटा की ग्रामसभेतल्यान जर एक त्यांच्या 5% लोकांनी जरी एक मागणी केली तर लोकांनी तो रेफरंडम म्हणजे सरकारान लोकांकडे हे करपाक जाय आणि सगळ्या 50% ग्रामसभांनी जर सांगले की अशें करा गव्हर्नमेंटाचे ते कंपल्शन असपा जाय कायदो करपाचे अशे केजरीवालाचे म्हणणे हे खंय तरी एक आक्षेपार्ह आसा.
Switzerland example cannot be to our
definitely.
And in any case,
matured
in terms of anything,
because it is matured so-called people.
So you're completely adamant about the fact
we are much more mature than them.
Not the question of maturity.
Complete distrust on ourselves.
Not
केजरीवालाचे खाप पंचायतीचो प्रभाव असा अशें म्हाका दिसता स्वता हरियाणातलो न्ही. खाप पंचायतची जी मेंटॅलिटी आसा ते ताच्या इम्पॅक्ट आसा.
It is not a question of maturity. It is too small a country to be.
Yes. Now when you talk about now building masjids and creating the thing, let's face it that most of our riots and most of our social chaos that has come around in this country has come from top bottom. It's never come from bottom top.
Correct.
All right. So let's not come into that argument of saying that the people are going to ask and create.
But this is the fact.
The point is it's not a fact at all. The point what I'm trying to make is that you must give some functions to the people, so that they become participants in democracy and they become the best checks and balances on their elected representatives. But you must also give them certain duties. Like for instance, I'll give you an example. I think this is the example that probably Dr. Sarkar should have put forth in his argument. Is that very often many of these Gram Sabhas are in the no economy mode. And this is something that must be challenged at all points of time. For instance, an example is in Goa itself. The National Institute of NIT, the National Institute of Technology. Now, just about every Gram Sabha says we don't want it in our backyard. Now, this is something that is good for the state. This is something good for our economy. This is something good for the youth. So, if we go into a phenomenon in these Gram Sabhas by which you say nothing in my backyard, not even a garbage dump for the garbage that is there, this is something that is extremely dangerous. So, this has got to be tackled somehow through these rules and laws. Definitely. You cannot have this thing of Gram Sabhas becoming eventually isolated village republics that decide what is there and nobody else can come in and throw out the non-Goa.
That is bad.
This is bad. But doctor, the fear that this will lead to that.
Yes.
The fear is that it will lead to that.
So therefore I'm saying, you cannot tell me.
Evolve a mechanism.
You cannot tell me
mechanism to tackle this issue.
Yes. So in this, no, it is not there. It is definitely not there.
It is there.
In this era of crony capitalism, I think this is at the heart of the debate, Pramod. In this era of crony capitalism, where we know big money influences every policy decision to the extent of wiping out villages and wiping out communities, you have to have some defense mechanism for the people of India to fight against this big money. Definitely. How on earth? Otherwise, we are going to become an nationalized state all over the place.
Land acquisition has come precisely.
Papa, you just don't have one land acquisition law and whatever, and everybody violates it.
Important law, RTI law.
And these are laws brought by the Congress, by the way. So I think you should give some credit to the Congress.
It's okay for me.
No, Doctor. Main gazal, the whole objection is कि लोकां हाताक जर आमी पावर दिले then there will be chaos. So right now जी सिस्टम आहा ती बरी आहा सामकी परफेक्ट आहा आणि आता समजा एक मनीस तुमकां 2 वर्सां भितर कळ्ळें की हो ह्या मनशाक आमी निवडून दिल्लो हो नालायक हो पयशे खाता ताका आनी उरिल्ली 3 वर्सां लोकांनी झेलपाचो ताका परत यो म्हणून सांगप ना.
नाही म्हाका तू मेकॅनिझम सांगता कसो हाडटलो तो
करूया. Let's work it out. Let's sit
across the table.
You're
open for it.
Let's sit across the table.
My mind is open.
you're open for
you have to
mechanism.
give a proper study करून तुम्ही bill pay करता. You can't give all these
so
points.
so you're open for corrective mechanism.
Giving this point, that means they have not applied their minds. नाला हे घालचेच नसले हातून इतके point, which is he is not agreeing.
No, I am agreeing with you fully on the fact that many of these points.
He is saying let us evolve sensible mechanism. Are you okay?
I agree with you.
You agree with
yes,
this?
yes.
And I
that is
feel
very important.
that sensible mechanism is already working.
It is working.
How is it working?
Why is there a sensible mechanism?
so much of agony and angst on the ground?
There is no system for that.
Why is there so much agony on the ground?
लोक आता स्लमांनी रावतात नाही. You mean to say ते तुका सांगता की आमका घरा जाय ते मारना तो परत ताकाच मत मारता. कित्याक मारता तो मत ताका ते विचार कर मरे पहिली. तो तुका काहीच फॅसिलिटी दिना, काहीच करना तुझे, तरी तू ताकाच मता मारता. कित्याक मारता?
आम्ही जोपर्यंत परफेक्ट जायना
तोपर्यंत कित्याक काडटलो?
असेच चलत रावू
पाहिजे.
एज्युकेशन इज इम्पॉर्टंट. ताका तांचे एज्युकेशन वाढवून ऐक. आणि यू गिव्ह अ एक्सलंट अकाउंटेबिलिटी. कोर्टिंग साठी कर. तू कोर्टान केस घाली आणि ती 10 वर्सां वतली नाही, हाज्या खातीर प्रॉब्लेम.
Court is not a solution.
नाही,
Court is not a solution.
कोर्ट इज आता पळय आम्ही कसाब आमच्या समोर बसलो 5 वर्सां गेली. प्रूव्ह करपाक नाही. हांव सांगता तुका एक्झाम्पल दिता. अमेरिका फिनिश दॅट केस इन 1 year. सो तू बाबा एक कॉन्टिन्यू हांवें कितें केस घाली
तुका स्वित्झर्लंड नाका अमेरिका जाय.
नाही देर हॅज टू बी बाबा विदिन 1 year आय शुड गेट सम. न्ही तुम्ही 10 वर्सां हेच जायना. पोलिसांकडे कंप्लेंट केली तो पहिला मातशी इम्प्रुवमेंट करा मरे.
See, court will never be a solution to this.
No, he's saying improve existing system. System is there, improve it. System is perfect. You improve it.
See, we have the
you correct the test of time.
We have the Lokpal that will have to be strengthened.
त्यानी वाढले
CVC will have to be strengthened. The grievance bill strengthened. Whistleblowers bill strengthen it, and see that they are really independent. See, CEC, that is Election Commission, is doing a perfect job.
That's the only thing which is real.
CAG is doing a perfect job. Why they are doing a perfect job? Because the independence of these institutions. If CVC, Lokpal, all these institutions are given independence, then to a large extent that accountability will follow.
सर मुद्दो हो की सिस्टम ऑलरेडी आम्ही घाल्यात पण आम्ही तांकां सारखी चलयना. त्यो सारखी चलयल्या पुरो आणि कसले मेकॅनिझमाची गरज पडची ना.
Along with it, there will have to be a consultative process. It is not that people can take part.
Okay.
नाही हातून कशें आसा की आमचे सिस्टम आसा ना अशें न्ही. नवीन जर आमी हाडूंक सोदतात, जर केजरीवाल हाडूंक सोदतात, तातूंत सुद्दां मर्यादा आसतल्यो, तातूंत सुद्दां चुकीच्यो गजाली आसतल्यो. आनी खंय तरी हे जे दोश आजच्या सिस्टमीन आसा ते तातूंतय आसा. जशें दोतोरान सांगलें की प्रत्येकाक गव्हर्मेंट सर्वंटाक जर पनीश करपाक लागले जाल्यार कोण कामूच करचें ना फाल्यां. ताका लागून हे जे प्रत्येक सिस्टमीन दोश आसता म्हणजे आमचे आसा तीच आमी अजून मुख्य म्हणजे लोक जे आसात न्ही ते चड सक्षम जावपाक जाय. ग्रामसभेन प्रत्येक गांव जर आपल्या गांवा पुरतो जर विचार करपाक लागलो जाल्यार एक आझाद काश्मीर कशें सगळें प्रत्येक कडेन हेच जातलें, अराजकूच जातलें. म्हणजे जो केजरीवाल स्वता म्हणटा की अनार्की जातली ती तशेंच जातलें. तेच जावचें न्ही ह्या खातीर कायदो आसा, त्या खातीर घटना आसा. हाचो खंय तरी एक आमी आदर दवरपाक जाय अशें म्हाका दिसता. आनी एक आम आदमी पक्षान जेन्ना दिल्लींतल्या सरकारान जेन्ना जे आयले तांणी एक लोकां फुडें एक उदाहरण घालून दिवपाक जाय आशिल्लें की कशें आमी करूंक शकता. पूण तें आमकां कांयच दिश्टी पडना. सोमनाथ भारती सांगता पुलिसाक तूं थंय रेड मार, ती राखी बिर्ला सांगता तूं ते दार फोड हें कर. म्हणजे तुमचे कायदे तुमी मानिना, तुमी घटना मानिना. हो केजरीवाल वचून थंय रस्त्यार बसता. हे खंय तरी लोकांचो एक भ्रमनिरास जाला हातूंत अशें दिसता. आनी एकूच मुद्दो सांगता की आम आदमी जेन्ना म्हणटा आम आदमी आतां पर्यंत कशें हिंदुत्ववादी म्हणटाले, कोण तरी सेक्युलरिझम एक आपलो पॉयंट करता, तसो आम आदमी हो वर्गवाद जाला. एक नवो एक तयार जाला. आनी जशें दलितांचे तो सुद्दां बंगले मागता.
If Kejriwal was not Aam Aadmi and Khas Aadmi, he would have been arrested the day he broke that 144 section.
What is that?
तू वचू शकता.
गव्हर्नमेंट फायल्स तो रस्त्यार कशे व्हरता?
गव्हर्नमेंटाची
Can I give you the list of leaders who have broken other laws and still not arrested?
Then don't call themselves. They don't call themselves.
One moment.
The point is we have a good system. The point is we have a good system.
Then you don't break the law.
If Aam Aadmi Party was supporting the BJP, you would have said that Kejriwal is the next. After Mahatma Gandhi is the best. Of course it is. It is.
The point is, if system, we have a system in place, but we are not running it properly. If we run it properly, we don't need more mechanisms.
My dear Pramod, the best solution to a dysfunctional democracy is more democracy. It is not more dictatorship. This is the point that one must understand. Nobody says that any form of governance in any part of the world is perfect. But of all the imperfect forms of government, the best is democracy. You must understand that. And what people are demanding is that they want to be a part of this democratic process every day of their life. Whether Dr. Salkar likes it, Cleopat likes it, or I like it, it hardly matters. Because we are typically the middle class, upper middle class, privileged people who can get our jobs done even by a phone call or by phoning up somebody. What this common man on the road is asking, the so-called Aam Aadmi, and there will be tons and tons of Aam Aadmis morphing into different forms. Please do not think that they're going to become small. That's going to become bigger. They want a stake in democracy, because for the last 60 years, democracy has been hijacked by people like you and me, who have got the power, who have got the resources, who've got the wealth to tune it to our needs, to tune it for our benefits. And some amount of crumbs and some amount of trickle down, we give it to the Aam Aadmi. This Aam Aadmi on the road is now coming up, and he wants a stake in democracy.
Is he matured enough to make
now? That is exactly what my argument is.
To take
so we are so sanctimonious and we are so patronizing. This is our problem. We are so patronizing.
That is Dr. Salkar's
No, I don't know. We are so. I mean, even I probably think like him, and that's the whole problem. And that's why I'm correcting myself, and eventually he'll correct himself. So we think that we are so patronizing that we can dictate, since he's an auto driver, since he's a fruit seller, he's a flower seller. No, but no, the point is that we had better learn that every citizen of this country wants to make decisions for himself or herself in this country. And the faster we find mechanisms by which we can address that from within our existing system, through the judicial process, through the legislative process, the better it is for us. Otherwise, that is what is going to lead to chaos.
Okay.
Don't for one moment think that South America moved from a right-wing economy, all those dictators, to complete left-wing, and the present chaos through Gram Sabhas. They moved it through blood and through revolutions. If this does not happen through these Gram Sabhas, there will be blood and revolution. This country is heading for that because we've hijacked the system.
What Doctor says is correct, that we require mechanisms. Possibly the law which they brought was brought in an indecent hurry.
Yeah.
And that has probably led to this entire debate. Nobody says that there is no need for a mechanism, but not the type of mechanism that is given.
That is being proposed. That is what you are saying. Yoshini, broader question is, ki janna faltanik janna government karpa jale. Now that is a concept which they are running the government. It is an alternative politics. Then the government karpa jale, they asked people to vote. They said ki SMS karat, email karat, buron dhadat, sarkar karche kai na. Now that is something that India never witnessed. एकदा elect जाऊन आले की प्रत्येक माई रवा हाकोगोड ताकोगोड आगे पण करते करतात. कारण लोकांचे opinion घेतले and they formed the government. Whether they succeeded or failed is a different thing. Whether the mechanisms are right or wrong, is a different thing. But do you think today there is a scope in our democracy for such kind of alternate politics where we can tell people, तुम्ही सांगात आणि आम्ही करतले?
See, alternate politics is the need. There is no doubt about it. How we build the processes is the issue. Like in this case, according to me, they faced the flack for not forming the government.
Yeah.
They sent almost a filler that they are forming the government, and the response came through their urge to form the government. So I don't believe that the SMSs came just like that. They were about to form the government. They received flack for not forming the government.
Obviously, when you say should I, that means you're open for it.
Yes, absolutely.
That's clear.
So one thing. Now, if the government had to be formed, it had to be formed. The government was delayed by 10 days. That was not required. See, I will take back to the regional plan in Goa. The task force report is the best that we could get.
Absolutely.
The regional plan should have been out that time.
Undoubtedly.
The delay in the entire process that has gone is also sometimes it costs in that form. And the regional plan is not out for too much of processes that have gone into it.
Correct. So what you are essentially saying is the moment we keep it pending.
No, I'm not saying that. See, what doctor says as far as the consultative process, yes. But we have to have this a law in place. Like see, when BJP did not form the government in Delhi and Congress said we are supporting you, there was no way they could say that we are not forming the government. We cannot live on a diet of elections. And similarly, we cannot live on a diet of referendums.